What's going on, you guys? Coming to you today with an Armada fleet build using Ryan Kingston's fleet builder, and there actually have been some changes to this builder. I want to talk about them as well because he is updating this thing all the time. It's very cool. We're going to be doing a Mon Calamari build today. I want to focus on trying to make Garm Bel Iblis work, and I think maybe a Mon Calamari, an MC-80 fleet is going to be able to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a couple of MC-80 command cruisers. I'm going to see, one of the things that makes this work is that it's got 3 commands, so I can get 3 tokens from Garm. And you know, with Wave 7 we got this really cool title and it's called the Mon Calamari Exodus Fleet that I want to put on there, and it turns, you know, a defense or an engineering token into a lot more powerful than it would have been otherwise. So for a single engineering token, you can now get, you know, the same thing as a full command. So that much is really, really nice. So I wanted to look at different ways that we can make Garm Bel Iblis kind of make this whole thing work. And one of the things that inspired this is that the rise of interdictors, and interdictors lately have been so powerful for the Empire, and not just that they're throwing out so many dice, which they're able to do actually some moderately consistent and very respectable damage now, considering everything that Wave 6 and Wave 7 has given them. But not only that, they're also very survivable, and it's very easy to keep them from dying and just keep regenerating and regenerating. And so there's a lot of different ways to do this. So one of the things that, you know, I just wanted to look at different advantages that we're going to be able to get here with tokens. And so the Mon Calamari Exodus Fleet obviously is going to be one of those things that we're going to have some options, you know, to keep ourselves tanky. So that's going to, normally an engineering command will get us 2. This is going to get us 2 additional points. So basically it turns these tokens into 4. Or if we do the actual engineering command, we're going to get 6. If we do the command and the token, we're going to get 8, which is kind of the same as an interdictor. All right, but we've got, you know, we got a lot more shields too. So we're, you know, hopefully we should really be able to stay alive. We do have our defensive retrofit here, so we're going to go ahead and put electronic countermeasures on there because why not? I mean, that's great. Electronic countermeasures is good. It helps us make sure that we can brace, and we definitely want that. The other thing that we're going to put on these guys, I do want them to have teeth because we have to be able to blow up other ships as well. So we're going to put XI7 on here to make sure that they have the teeth to do it. And as much as I would love to put heavy ion emplacements, we don't have anybody out there really giving us consistent rerolls. Granted, we'll have a little bit of possible offensive, you know, token help from Garm, but I don't think that's enough, and it's not going to be all, you know, it's not going to be there all the time. So I want to put leading shots on the MC-80, so this way we can spend one of those blue, and we have plenty of blue to be able to spend. And you know, and if we have the concentrate fire token, then we don't have to spend that blue. But you know, it gives us more flexibility. It's always good, and honestly, this is also going to help us against squadrons. If we do anti-squadron fire, this really can almost guarantee we get at least one damage on every squadron we shoot. So you know, at least the ones that are close to us. So that's important. So leading shots is just really, really good for this ship. In the past, I have kind of skipped over this before, but it's a solid upgrade. Now we're going to be actually kind of running these things to the gills. So I'm going to use some new stuff. I'm going to use hardened bulkheads here. And this is large ship only, and it is a large ship. So this one is letting you, basically, you're not going to be able to be rammed. So this is one thing that you know, the interdictors don't have access to. And this is one way that you could trump an interdictor, and this is just letting you ram, and you know, and you can't be rammed, or actually when you overlap or are overlapped. So you can't ram, you can be rammed, and basically you're going to be fine unless it's another large ship. Well, let's take advantage of that. Now, I was a little tempted to do projection experts. I will admit I was tempted to do that, but engine techs is the clear winner here. Engine techs is a little bit stronger. The problem with projection experts, it's kind of dependent on, you know, having the target. Like if you're not the ship that they're shooting, or if you are the ship that they're shooting, then you're not sending shields away, and people may just concentrate on one ship. So then maybe the other one needs it, you know. And I want these two to be almost the same. So projection experts, while it is good, I think Engine Text is going to work better because I will be able to use this with both ships. And also, I'm making up for a huge weakness here in that we're only speed 2. Engine Text is going to give us effectively speed 3, which is huge, and a good speed 3 because we're going to be able to have, you know, one click, and then one click. Or if we do the nav command, since we're going to have the engineering tokens from Garm, we can go ahead and do like 2 click, 1 click, or something like that. So we can have a lot of flexibility with movement with Engine Text. It turns the MC-80 into a slow, bad ship into a pretty good speedy ship that can get in range to do those blue dice. And then you want to get in close range, and then you want to stay in close range because you want to continue to Engine Text and ram, especially against those medium ships. If you go up against interdictors, no problem. Just keep ramming. And that's the other thing that's like, if you do end up going up against interdictors here, your blue dice are going to be really helpful. It's actually better to have more blue dice because if they end up forcing you to re-roll, you're not going to have any blanks there. Granted, you do have 2 accuracies, but those blue dice are, it's not as bad as losing a hit crit on a black die. You know, maybe you're going to have a crit turn into a hit or something like that, but you're not going to lose as much damage, I think, with blue die. I just feel better. Granted, you have the same chance to come up with nothing, but you have less of a chance to come up with 1 less damage in the form of, losing a double damage. Granted, they can still do that to your reds, but, still, I like this. I like this, especially to get in somebody's face, be able to double ram with Engine Text potentially, and I can't redirect, which is always going to be nice. So if you do get those accuracies, you can put them on the brace. You've got ECM to help you out. Let's see what else are we going to put on here. We have the officer slot. That's going to be different, so I don't need to keep that one on there. We will put Garm as our commander. I mentioned that earlier. And I only wish like that Garm would work on like maybe the 2nd and 4th rounds or something like that instead of 1st and 5th. Because the 1st round, it's so easy to bank a token anyway. But that's why we have Engine Text here. Because when we deploy, we can just do nav first turn. And we can obviously not take the token, but we can just say, all right, we're going to use our command for Engine Text. We can get an extra click. We can trigger Engine Text and have a really nice speed 3 maneuver first turn to get us right into shooting distance on turn 2, bring us straight into the fight, and maybe surprise somebody who expects us to be a slow ship. That's kind of the whole theory here. Now we're going to duplicate this ship. I love that they do that now. And we're gonna look at the officers. So now there's some different stuff that you could do with officers. I think Strategic Advisor is a great fit for here, and so is Bail Organa, because we're gonna be using a lot of points in this list. We're not gonna have a heavy bid for first player. I don't think we really need to be first player in this ship. We don't have black dice. We're not gonna be that position intensive. Our side arcs are huge here. It's not really like we have to worry about lining up that perfect shot. It's pretty easy to have a good shot with something like this, just because of the fact that we have such flexibility of arc. So I don't think this is a list that needs to be first player, and we also shouldn't be that weak that we're going to just risk dying. So I think Bail could be cool because Bail works both ways. Even if you end up getting the 2 command tokens, well, that's great because you can pick a turn that you're more likely to need them, like turn 3, for example. Great option for Bail, even if you end up already being first player. Strategic Advisor, always a nice idea, especially if you're going with low ship counts. Intel Officer is always good. I like that. Lando's good for saving you. Hondo, if you really need that token, is good. Ahsoka is pretty cool if you want to make sure you get that a different token. There's a lot of really, really good officer slots, but for these, I think I'm going to go with Damage Control Officer. But I went back and forth on deciding if I wanted maybe Strategic Advisor or and heck, you could even put Major Durlin at least on the command ship. It would make it really, really tanky. But I'm going Damage Control Officer just because in the meta now I think we're more likely to see more and more crit effects, and I think Damage Control Officer is just a really solid, safe option to protect. With as many shields as you have too, you're going to be vulnerable to those shield draining crits that are out there. and there's all kinds of stuff to hit adjacent sides. And this is, and every time I don't bring damage control officer nowadays, I end up regretting it. Of course, the one time I did do a build, I had a bunch of damage control officers. There was no crit effects at all in the opposing build, so that was a big waste of time. But now both ships have the MC fleet, and obviously we're going to fly them fairly close together, so they should always be at distance 1 to 4 of each other. One of the things when flying this, though, you're going to have to make sure that you don't send the forward ship, whichever one is farther forward, you don't send them too far away with engine techs such that they're out of range to be supported by the other Mon Calamari Exodus fleet. So this way, you don't send your top guy way too far away, and then when your bottom guy activates, he's out of range. So you want to try and practice that a little bit, practice your maneuvers of making sure that these guys stay close enough to each other. That being said, we've got we can add some more ships. So we're already at 317 points. So that's just lovely, right? So we're gonna add some flotillas for support, because I figure if we've got Garm, well, what some other things that we can do is we can. I'm gonna do a combat refit. I want a little extra shooting. A little extra shooting's fine. We're gonna make this one Bright Hope. And this is where you can change it. You don't have to make them combat. You can make them medium transports. But I figure I'd rather have some shooting. We're gonna give him repair crews. So when they get that token, they can just send it to to engineering, and just get a damage off. In case we do end up taking a lot of concentrated fire, which we probably will, we can just keep using these guys to get damage off of those other ships. And in case somebody goes for them, I'll put Major Derlin over here. Major Derlin and Bright Hope. That means this ship is really not going to see. Who is even going to waste their time trying to kill this ship? Very unlikely. I'd have to park myself right in front of an ISD to even risk getting shot. So generally, people aren't going to go for this one as much. Maybe if they have Intel Officer, I would go for for a Bright Hope if I had Intel Officer, perhaps. But since you're going to have more than 2 damage for it to even potentially count in the first place, I think you were looking good there. We're also going to add a GR-75 medium transports. This one will be kind of our, this way we have at least 4 activations, since we did kind of skip on the strategic advisor. But this one's going to have the same thing. We're going to do repair crews. Repair crews, just we got lots of extra repairs. But I'm also going to toss on Hondo on this guy for those off turns, right? For those other turns where we're like, I really want another engineering token, or maybe I need that nav token. But this I can do each. I can give, if I want to give the GR-75 an engineering token later, earlier, I can do that. But I mean, I probably wouldn't. I would probably give it to one of these guys, because they're going to get the most out of it. They're going to get 4 points, whereas this guy would potentially just get rid of a damage card, which would only be 3 in value. So this can give one of my MC-80s an extra nav, and the other one an extra engineer. Got it. Golden. No problem. And then I can let the squadron token and concentrate fire go to my opponent, because those aren't as really potentially as good. So that's my ships. Now I'm 378, so I'm pretty light on having room for squadrons. So what could we do? Well, we don't want to add ship. We want to add squadrons. So this is kind of cool. So before we add squadrons, I want to point out that there's new keywords now, so you can look like, I want all my bombers. Boom, click bomber. I'm just going to show you all your bombers. How cool is that? I love this. I love it. Oh, I want escorts. No, I want all guys with a rogue. Okay, rogue. Boom, here's all my rogues. Now, it makes it so easy if you're looking for stuff like this. This is fantastic. Snipe, obviously. There's not a whole lot of stuff there with snipe. But yeah, so digging that. Absolutely digging that. But, could we do 2 A-Wings? We could do 2 A-Wings if we wanted. Or if we want to have a 3rd squadron, we could do the Z95s. And I think I'm going to go with Z95s. This way we'll have 3 squadrons instead of only 2. Granted, we don't have, you're going to get 9 hull instead of 8. I like that one a little bit better. And it actually puts us at 399. So we actually have a 1-point bid. We have a chance there. We've got a chance. And again, if I want, I can have my GR-75s activate them. No problem. But 3 Z95s, they can, and they can roll 2 damage on a ship. They can do potentially really good. It's certainly possible. It has happened. It's happened to me once at least. So it can totally happen, but you know, I need to just blow on my dice a little bit more next time. So let's look at the objectives. Let's see, assault. So in this case, we're running MC80s. You have a couple of options. One thing I want to point out, you do have a GR75, so you could totally do Most Wanted. Most Wanted is a really good option in the case when you have a GR75. You know, you can get an extra die when you're attacking their objective ship. They're going to have an extra die attack in GR75. Not a big deal. But I really kind of want advanced gunnery here. I want to have more teeth. People generally don't want to ever pick advanced gunnery against MC80s. But it could go either way. I don't think either of those are a bad idea. But I'm going with advanced gunnery just because people almost never ever pick it, and I'm gonna have such flexibility that I could get right up in there and do a lot of damage. It would be better if I had Akbar, because I could just be like boom boom, even better. But I don't have Akbar, so maybe they'll pick it, and I'm probably okay with that because I think I can survive their advanced gunnery. Next up for the defense option, this one I'm going to go with Fleet Ambush. One of the reasons I'm going with Fleet Ambush is that my ships, my MC80s, are going to be a little faster, and hopefully anybody that they deploy in the zone, I can kind of counter, cover them up and take advantage of them being a little closer to me. But also it really takes advantage of my lack of squadrons, because all squadrons have to be deployed last with Fleet Ambush. So now if they have like three ships and 16 squadrons, well, now I suddenly have deployment advantage. So that much is cool. And in navigation, also I want to take care of my weakness here, superior positions. I'm going to go with or Solar Corona, but in this case I'll go with Solar Corona. Solar Corona is going to be good. I can easily just make sure that I'm deploying everything after I know where they're going to be. And that's kind of a big part of a list like this. So I don't want to, I've only got the 4 ships. I don't have a whole lot of squadrons, so I want to know where their ships are going to be. I want to be able to fly right into their ships, potentially ram them, and I want to set up my 2 big ships that they're blocking as much area as possible so you can't fly right past me. CR90s might be able to do it. It might be a little tricky there, but that is the build. Let me pull it up on the printout here, and there it is. I also have a winner to announce. So for the giveaway for a $20 Cool Stuff gift card, so you can get an expansion of your choice, and that winner is Joel Rohn. Joel, go ahead and just send me a message on the back end of my channel, and I'll get your contact information. Congratulations. To everybody else, if you did not win, no problem. I have these giveaways coming out all the time, so make sure you are subscribed. Click that bell for alerts, and stay tuned for the next giveaway, which should be starting any day now because I do them all the time. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Check out Crabbok.com for more information. I know I've been doing a lot of Legion stuff lately, but there is other games that still exist, and I have not forgotten about them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.